get ready with me to go run some errands and let's chat about some things that are on my mind. The first thing I do is I actually do a glycolic acid toner. I use this Pixie uh, Glow Glow Tonic. That's what it's called. I have seen a big difference in doing this because what this is going to do is cling on and sweep away any of those dead little scalies that I often have around here, my nose. So I'm using this to very, very gently chemically exfoliate. This is only 5%, so it is really low strength. I think they do have a 10% one, so be careful. Make sure you're getting the 5% one if you're new with glycolic acid toners. But this is a nice way to get off anything on the skin that we don't want to catch foundation and make your makeup look not as good as it could. Okay, after that, I use a moisturizer of some sort, and lately I've been using the Merit Great Skin uh, Priming Moisturizer is what it's called. This has an ingredient I think sounds funny because, I mean, I just can't take anything seriously, but it's an ingredient I've never heard of. It's called spermidine. I mean, I don't think it's what you think it is, but I just thought that was interesting. It's nice. I use 2 pumps because I'm starting to definitely notice the dryness now that it's winter where I live. Um, I did wake up with a very big, painful zit there, and I think I know why. And the why is that my period is due like tomorrow, but I'm not enthused about it, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to cover this. I'm going to definitely prep my under eye area. That's another thing that I used to skip, and then I would wonder, oh, why does my under eye concealer look so dry and crepey and garbage? Well, because I was just raw dogging it going in with nothing on my skin. So I'm going to use the Dew, that's how it's pronounced, Dew Oracle Reviving Eye Gel. And sometimes I use the Forever Eye Masks. I'm not going to today, but I love them. And those are the little silicone eye masks that kind of seal in this eye cream and push it into the skin. But we're just going to put that all over. You can do the whole orbital bone. I thought I was filming just now. I don't think I was. And what I just applied was the Beauty of Joseon SPF. This is a really nice lightweight Korean sunscreen, and it is SPF 50, SPF 50 PA plus 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 plus, just like all the good things. Now we're going to complete the final step of our prep, which is eye primer. I never skip eye primer, and I'm going to do a pretty lightweight, simple eye look today for running errands. But I'm still always going to do this, and you'll see that, I've canceled out veins, discoloration, just kind of brightens everything up. This eye primer I really like. I don't really know the future of it. I think something is up maybe with this brand, and maybe they bought another brand or something. This is True and Luscious. Always have loved their eye primer. I think something is going on with them in Halo Beauty. So they may be becoming one company. I don't know. Maybe True Luscious is going to stay on its own. I usually get this on Amazon or send that link to people when they ask about it. And sometimes the light color's not available. That's what I'm using. So I'll link it and I hope you can get it because I do really like it. So I'm going to just do an eyeliner and I'm sharpening it right now. It's really little because it's at its end, but this is from my brand that I launched last year. This is Portrait Eye Sketch in the shade Adorn, which is like a coppery bronze. It's a bronze shade. So I am going to bring them here closer so I can see what I'm doing. This is a very nice soft pencil liner, so you can smudge this out and make sort of just like an effortless, everyday smoky eye. So I'm going to just really like non-precisely put that on, use my finger right away to smudge it out. Going to build a little bit. Can you see? Okay. I'm not blocking you, am I? But I kind of just keep it on the outer part anyways. It adds just like a little bit of that bronzy shadow to my eye, bring it in the crease. I'm telling you, this is just simple errand running today, so I don't really want to do too much here. This is about as much as I'm willing to do, but it still adds a little definition. Going to use my brand again because I really love this mascara. I feel like this is sort of the unsung hero from Portrait because I know everyone is really picky and loyal to their mascaras, but this mascara allows me to apply it the way I like to apply mascara, which is just in like multiple coats, but it never gets clumpy. So many mascaras, you have to be so careful when you're doing these repeated coats because you'll be getting pretty heavy quickly. But this just builds so nicely, and that is why I called it Sculpt Flash, because you can just sculpt and coat until you get them how you want them, and they still feel like lightweight and not like hard and crunchy and whatnot. Now we're ready to deal with this face. For foundation today, I'm using the Urban Decay Face Bond. This is a waterproof foundation. They sent it to me and I really liked it. My shade is Fair Warm 6. I'm putting it on a palette. I like to work that way. It's got like a little needle nose applicator. And I'm using it because, like I said, I do really like it. It's pretty light, but it matches how light I am right now. And also because I have this zit, and I'm pretty sure another one forming, it's more of a matte foundation, and I feel like that's going to help to minimize this raised texture I have going. So I'm going to take a brush. This is a Smashbox brush. Smashbox, I mean, I worry about that brand. Like, I could definitely see that brand closing, and I really hope they don't. One thing, among others, that I love from Smashbox are their brushes. They are incredible brushes, and I always tell people, if you ever see the brushes on sale, oh my gosh, grab them. They always have the red handle. They're just very good quality, and I love the shapes of them. This one's pretty big, I will say, but it helps me get where I'm going pretty quickly, right? Now I know you can still see that hideous zit, but I will go in with concealer. That's what concealer's for, really. When it's not under your under eye area, if concealer is used on other areas of your face, it's usually to add more coverage where you need it, kind of pinpoint that coverage on a zit, or to brighten a shadow elsewhere. But we'll come back to it. That foundation covered it pretty well, though. Now that I am looking at it. All right, while we do the other side of my face, things I want to discuss. Okay, my shirt. I know you can't see it, but it's the Pop-Tart bowl. I'm not a college sports fan, but my husband is. And did anyone else see the Pop-Tart bowl? It was the most unbelievable thing that I have seen in college sports. Just the fact that it was an entire bowl game themed around Pop-Tarts, but they had like mascot Pop Tarts, and at the end, they had one of the Pop Tarts climb a ladder into a life size toaster. It was like fiery, like the pits of hell. He basically waves goodbye to the world. The crowd is cheering, and unalives himself in said toaster, goes down into it, everyone is cheering, and then he comes out as a very large toasted Pop Tart, and the winning team is grabbing pieces of his presumed body, eating chunks of it. It was hilarious, it was weird, it was a little disturbing, and it was one of those things. I feel like if you showed footage of that to like a European country and you're like, this is what's going on in America right now, they would be like, first of all, what's going on over there? What are you guys doing? And also, that's about what we thought, you know? But yeah, so my husband got me this Pop Tart Bowl shirt because I was like, that Pop Tart bowl was like unbelievable. And just like the product tie-ins, they talked about Pop Tarts so much during that. Like I was kind of shocked at how many like brand mentions there were. But yeah, I was mostly like, wow, if I was a little kid and I saw a Pop Tart have to die and then get his body eaten by a team of football players, I would have probably been really upset about it. Like, I was a really empathetic child, and I still am. I probably would have cried about it, you know? One of those things my mom would have to say, Ivy, but he's not real. Like, you don't need to worry about the Pop Tart. Concealer time. I'm using the only concealer I always say, the only one I don't hate, Milk Makeup Future Fluid. I'm using 5W because I'm at my lightest right now. I don't like to put the concealer right on my face, so it's going on my palette again. Also, I'm on the last life of this concealer, so I kind of have to do this to like get any off of it. But you don't want to use a lot of concealer. And when you put that thing right on your face, you can. It's not the worst thing you can do. But you're just more likely to dump too much on there, swiping it around, and then you have too much to blend out. It's a whole thing. I just like to put it on a palette or your hand. You can totally do this on your hand. And then I just load up and I work in layers. I don't put it all on in the first place. I add and add to it, right? So going on that darkest part of the shadow first, and I'm working out. All right, while we blend out our concealer, the other thing I wanted to discuss with you, covered Pop Tart bowl, is the new Bruno Mars song. I am 41. I turned 41 last month. So, I'm newly 41. But I have officially hit the stage of my life where I'm doing old people things. And one of them is being appalled by song lyrics. Like, honestly, it's not even the Bruno Mars part that I'm talking about. It's the Sexy Red lyrics on that song. And I don't even know. Can I say the name of the song? The name of the song is Fat, Juicy, and Wet. And I'm old now because I was listening to it this morning and I was mouth agape. Like I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So yeah, I'm not like offended. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe we are saying these things now. Like think about my grandma Nancy and like she would be so mortified by this stuff. All right, so here's a good example. I feel like the 5W shade was a little too light for that zit because it almost highlighted it. Definitely not what I want. So I'm grabbing 7NW of Milk Makeup Future Fluid because sometimes you just need to match as close to your skin as possible, but you definitely don't want this to be lighter because then you really are highlighting that zit. And this isn't the worst stage of it. Like, it's raised, it's inflamed. It's not going to be able to be fully covered because it's three-dimensional. It's a little mountain, and you'd have to put a whole tarp over a mountain to cover it. You just can't change the color of the mountain. You'll still see it. Is that a good analogy? So I'm gonna put back on my lip prep, which is the Paula's Choice Pro Collagen Peptide Lip Balm. I've loved everything I've gotten from Paula's Choice lately. They've always been really solid with skincare, but lately I just love everything. I feel like that's one of those brands like you can really trust. They are always going to be no nonsense, give you what you need, nothing you don't. Okay. We need to do our brows. I'm going to use another product from my brand, which is Portrait, and that is Brow Sketch. So this is a nice little micro precision brow pencil. It's double-sided, it's got a spoolie, so I'm going to start with the spoolie end, brush up my eyebrows. I'm using the shade Smoke, which is definitely the coolest toned of the brow colors, and it's kind of specifically for me because I was always finding brow pencils to be way too warm. They all have a lot of red tones in them, especially from the drugstore, and I was never seeing that true ashy brown that I needed. So I love this shade. If you also have ashy brown hair and you just don't really have any warmth, like I might have a few random highlights left, but like that's artificial. Like my natural hair is a little more on the cool tone. At least I prefer it to be. So I am brushing, alternating with filling in. Let's get some color back in this face. I'm sorry if you're sick of my brand, but this is Portrait Cheek Wash and this is the cream blush lip color. It's both. And you can see, like, I use this all the time. So I am at the very end of this. This is the color Pop. It's a beautiful bubblegummy Barbie pink, and so definitely cool tone. If you like a cool tone pink, it is certainly that. And it's a lip and cheek product, but it is a cream blush at its core. I love it. I think of all the Portrait products, this is probably my favorite. I love the formula. I love the colors. I love that none of the cream blush colors have shimmer because I really don't like shimmer in blush, and I'll tell you why. Um, let's go back to the fact that I'm 41, but I've always had a lot of pores here. They're just very visible. And anytime you put shimmer on a textured area, it'll highlight that texture. So I like that this is matte, but almost more of like a blurred soft finish. So it kind of minimizes texture, especially when I am putting it on my smile lines, right? I like a lot of blush, so I'm trying not to go too crazy. I'm trying to see how this is looking on camera here. I mean, we're going to Costco today. I renewed my membership, I think as many of us did recently, and I haven't been there a long time. So I'm really excited. I remember when I was talking about the Shark Flex style, people were telling me that Costco had a really good deal on it. So I know they have beauty stuff. So that's really exciting to me. I don't always do bronzer. I always do blush. So for me and my, personal face level of contrast, all that, I think it's more important for me to have cheek color. So I would never skip that. I do sometimes skip bronzer. Today I'll do it for funsies. And I do really love the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. To me, what this really is a translucent cream bronzer. It's not full strength, and that's why it's so buildable. It's kind of sheer, but that's the nice thing about it. And I use light medium, believe it or not. Um, I think I originally bought light medium because I was like, well, that'll be pretty versatile for like my clients. I have it at work too, but I was surprised that it worked for me. I usually would pick light for my skin tone, especially here in the winter, but yeah, I use it kind of in a big C shape on this side. It's a little bit in a contour position, but I bring it up on the sides of my face, on the forehead, temples, where I'm going to get more warmth, sun coverage if this were natural, right? So that's what bronzer is traditionally used for. It's what I use it for, is to add warmth, add color. We're not really contouring. If I was really contouring, I would use a different product, honestly. And I often do use this and then also contour. I just don't think they are one and the same in that, well, if you have a bronzer, you don't need a contour. No, not necessarily. Depends on how structured you're going for. I mean, that's a video for another day. I honestly think, I mean, we're going to Costco and we're going to my studio, work studio, to drop off a portrait order for my brand. So, do I need to contour my face today? No, probably not. I mean, we'll take a little bit, put it down on the chin. Sometimes it's nice to add a little separation, I feel like, from chin to like your neck. Portrait canvas set. This is a translucent setting powder, so it's not white. It's only white if you apply way too much. But I'm going to strategically set my face. So I don't want my whole face mattified, but I do want this under eye area set because pretty much any concealer is going to crease, and it's definitely going to crease if you don't set it. So we'll set that. I'm tapping out any crease that's already formed. And I'm using like a pushing motion, right? I'm not sweeping this because I don't want to move anything, especially, look, I've got that zit. I'm not trying to move around that coverage. I'm gonna tap some powder on it, hope it stays where it's at. I mean, I can definitely still see it. If I wanted that to be fully gone, I would have color corrected. But like I said, it's not that important for me today because I'm not having photos taken. I'm not going to an event. I'm going to a warehouse grocery store. Now we're going to do a setting spray. Not necessary for my day, but I really have loved the Makeup by Mario setting spray. This is, I believe, called Surreal Skin Soft Setting Spray. And it's such a nice mist. Like, I love the mist because it's not aerosol, but it seems to be a lot finer. Okay, we're almost done, but I had a thought. Kind of inspired by Billie Eilish did a makeup tutorial or a get ready with me or something, and she showed how she did her eyeliner. I think she's using black, but I think she definitely does the waterline, and I don't normally, but my eyes are so red always, and I thought maybe that'll help camouflage it. I'm also gonna bring it out a little bit. Uh, I have always had red eyes. I do wear contacts, but I mean, if you go back to my old YouTube videos, I've always had red eyes. I've gotten multiple comments about it. I mean, it's always assuming that it's from ingesting a certain substance. It's definitely not that. That's not for me. I have anxiety, thank you. I don't need to be more annoying to myself, but it's just maybe just dryness, but I just have red eyes, guys. I'll just tell you, like, I had a video, it was a sponsored video on Instagram lately for a brand, and like one person started talking about how red my eyes were. Honestly, I didn't even think they were that bad. But then everyone just like piled on, and it was like the whole video comment section became about my red eyes. And like it didn't hurt my feelings. I was just like, guys, like, okay, can we please talk about the content of the video? I'm sure the brand does not want to see you guys talk about this anymore. We have to use lip liner. I have to use lip liner. I've realized at my age, if I don't use lip liner, I don't really have a mouth. I need to define, I need to show you where it's at. So this is Portrait, again, lip sketch. This is the color Kalamata. It's my favorite color. Definitely what I would call a mauve. I have brush hairs all over my face. I gotta do a liner. I'm just gonna do a gloss on top. I love a liner gloss combo. But if I don't do this liner first, the perimeter of my mouth is just so faint and is weak. And I think a lot of that, sadly, is from I've gotten cold sores my whole life. and they're usually on my top lip. And I feel like over time, just like over my life, my top lip line has really gotten kind of damaged and sort of eroded from cold sores, and then they'd heal, and So I just feel like this makes such a difference. This lip liner formula is not really like any other I've used because it's like a gel pencil, so it applies super smooth, but it lasts so long. It's waterproof, and like, especially if you're gonna wear a gloss or a lip oil, a lip balm on top, that's not gonna last. You know you're gonna reapply that. This though, this will be living underneath for quite a while. And you can fill in your whole lip. I usually do at least like the sides, and I leave the middle open. So the lip gloss I'm putting on top is also from my brand. This is called Lip Glaze. This is the color Portray, and it's definitely the most popular color because it's just a nice, I would say warmer pink and kind of a pillow talk shade, That's gonna be used as a descriptor now. You say kind of like pillow talk, most makeup people are gonna know what kind of pink you're talking about. It's very hydrating. It's also pretty long lasting for a gloss. Honestly, that's something I really wanted to do because gloss is beautiful, but it is something that's constantly needing reapplied. And I like reapplying my lip gloss, but I'm thinking, when I'm working, I can't be interrupting like a shoot every 10 minutes. Oh, can I touch up her lip? Can I touch up her lip? This gloss has some grip to it, so it's actually going to stay on your lips for, a few hours, honestly. And it has a really good vanilla scent. One of my favorite vanillas. It's not a super sticky sweet kind of vanilla. It's just that really good classic vanilla bean scent. If the gloss doesn't have a little bit of viscosity, a little bit of grippy stickiness, then you will be applying it every 30 minutes. I enjoyed doing this little get ready with me with you. I hope to be around a lot more this year on YouTube. We're having a YouTube renaissance. I come back home and I really enjoy it here. So I hope that you'll come back and we'll hang out again soon, okay?